The girl, Amy, was talking happily with her mother. But then a big truck came out of nowhere. Their car was knocked down and overturned. Amy lost consciousness. I don't know how long it took. Amy woke up in the hospital. She tried to move her feet. Her father woke up next to her. The girl asked her mother, but her father didn't answer. Amy realized that her mother was dead. A month later, Amy saw her father flying in a glider at home. He was soaring in the air with joy. Amy ran out of the house to watch, but the glider soon lost control. His father landed and fell to the ground, but he was still very excited. Amy went to her father's workshop. It was full of strange and unusual things. Her father introduced her to them. He said he'd be busy for the rest of the day.
I'm gonna be real busy. I'm behind. I gotta deliver him.
But Amy said she didn't care. This story tells us, when we meet an accident, we have to learn to adjust ourselves. In the morning, Amy heard the sound of an engine. She got up to check it out. She saw her father naked, ran outside and yelled at them to stop. But they wouldn't budge. The father turned to Amy and explained that the developers were interested in the land. But Amy's attitude remained cold. That day, the girl was walking alone. She stumbled upon a flock of geese eggs. She went home and found a bag with a dress, and carefully brought the eggs home. The next day, her father was anxious for Amy to go to school. When she got home in the evening, Amy ran to check on her geese. She was surprised to find that they had already broken out of their shells. Amy fell asleep with the geese. When she got home, her father looked around for his daughter, and came upon this scene. At Amy's pleading, the geese were brought home. This story tells us that's some naivety. It's worth supporting. Amy took the geese to the bathroom to take a bath. The water gets hotter and hotter. The girl got burned and screamed. The father, hearing the sound, rushed to open the door, but the girl kicked him out. Susan came into the bathroom. Susan went into the bathroom with a towel to dry Amy off. She kept calming the girl. She kept reassuring the girl that her father wouldn't hurt her little goose. That day, the father suddenly offered that he would fly the plane to take the geese south. Then they trained together. But it didn't work. Once father was discussing with Susan when he saw the plane take off. But the girl wasn't very good at handling it. The plane fell to the ground. The father ran over to her. He was so worried. He was in tears. Luckily, the girl was safe. So the father decided. He took Amy with him. Amy guided the geese to the south. This story tells us, it's okay to fail. Amy started practicing driving with her father. After a while, her father flew the plane. Amy flew the plane alone. She was followed by a flock of geese. They made it. Next, my father found a Dr. Bird. He explained his plan to him. But Dr. Bird didn't think it was possible. Father kept explaining. And Dr. Bird was impressed, and took the father to a nature reserve. Dr. Bird told the girl's father, if no migratory birds arrive before November 1st, the reserve will be demolished. And with that news, the father decided to take Amy on October 22nd. But when the time came, one of the geese didn't take off. Amy encouraged it.
Stop fooling around. We're leaving by the end of the week.
The goose finally took off, but it crashed into Amy's plane. There's nothing to be done. Amy and her father returned to look for the geese. It turned out that the police had stolen the other geese in the darkness of the night. This story tells us, if you can't do something, it's just a matter of practicing a few times. Amy and her father set out on the road to the south. After traveling for a while, they found a place to rest. But they strayed into an Air Force base. The father was arrested. After some explanation, the Air Force base kindly sent them away. They even took a picture with them on the way out. But when they were only 30 miles from their destination, father's glider was hit by a gunshot and he lost control. Amy rushed to her father's side. Luckily, he was fine, but Amy had to do the rest of the journey alone. The girl was unsure of herself. Her father encourages her gently.
Got that strength in you.
Soon Amy was on her way alone. On the other side, the developers were about to make a move on the reserve. And finally, as we've all been waiting for, Amy and Goose made their debut. The crowd cheered them on. The following spring, The geese flew back to Amy's balcony on their own. This story tells us that when you set a goal and work hard to accomplish them,